Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? You're doing very, very well. Now, it's not anywhere near Christmas yet. It's only just the start of December. And yet the gifts have arrived. Yes, we have another unboxing to do today. Courtesy of our good friend, you know him, you love him. It's Steve 007 Smith, the master purveyor of movie canvases like this. Like Rambo over there. Like, where is it? King Kong somewhere over there as well. And all the walls of the Kilt Mansion are absolutely bedecked with fantastic movie canvas artwork. And what you guys, most of you guys know what the drill is going to be here, but we're going to do it slightly differently now, because you would have noticed that on the actual thumbnail and in the title of the video, I don't give away the game. I don't tell you what's actually in the box. So you guys can try to work it out right alongside me. And I'll tell you what the clues are, because as usual, Steve always sends me some clues so I can try to at least work out what it might be. And I'm pretty good at this game now. In fact, I started off pretty good at this game, but I know that his clues have become slightly more obtuse and confusing and often do lead me down a completely wayward track. And then sometimes I might bring myself back and have a sudden realization. Sometimes I might actually say the title of what the film is in my first, well, I'm ruling out this, this and this, and then you open it, and it is actually one of those I've ruled out. And it's taken me an extra day, well, I say an extra day, it's this package, and here it be, right here. This package arrived yesterday, but whilst I was out. And so it arrived whilst it was raining. So when I come home, it was actually quite dilapidated. And I thought, bloody hell, I'm not going to soggy cardboard box, don't open that just yet. So it's dried out now. And there's a couple of dinges in it too. But don't worry, I can't see into the box. I can't see. There's little just like scuff marks, and obviously someone's held it and their thumbnail's gone through the cardboard. But you can't see inside, so don't worry about that. But the clues are as follows. Now again, this was one of those that he sent me. He said, like, this is one I'm sending you, and then he gave me some clues, and then another message. This is going back a couple of weeks now. He said, I've changed my mind, and I'm going with someone else now. Right, okay. But the clues are right. It's Christmas, 80s classic, and 2 films to choose from, 2 titles, and it's very significant to me, and he's personalised it. Now, I know he's personalised some other movie posters before. This one in question, Escape from New York, which I saw at the premiere in London, Leicester Square, with my dad, Big Kilt Papa. And what Steve did, he wrote at the bottom of it, Fred and Chris McAneny, that's my dad, Fred and Chris McAneny, Leicester Square, London, 1981. And that's beautiful. It's great, because Big Kilt Papa's now sadly passed away. So, well, we know it's not going to be that then. 80s classic, very significant to me. Well, I started thinking of that only sort of in the wee small hours this morning, after being out on the whiskies. Oh yes. So, but the whole thing about 2 movies and Christmas massively put me straight in mind of, two mega movies which are just set at Christmas, but they're very important and very significant. One of which, well, you're hearing some of the music to it right now, is Lethal Weapon. And I thought straight away, it's got to be Lethal Weapon. It's just got to be. But then, had I done this video last night with a few drinkies down my neck, I would surely have gone straight down the Martin Riggs Road. I'd have gone, leaping off high-rise buildings, with a suicide jumper who's just out for attention. I'd have done everything. I'd have took out Gary Busey, Mr. Joshua, I'd have done all sorts of madcap, zany stuff. And threatened suicide a couple of times throughout the video as well. But no, that's too obvious. It's a very important and significant movie to me for a lot of reasons, which I have described before. Oh, there you go. There's some other clues. Apparently I have reviewed this movie on the channel, so I've covered it certainly. And there was something as well. Now, there's a reason why I brought that guy down. That there, King Kong, 1933 King Kong. which you guys know I absolutely adore the original saga of King Kong. No involvement with Godzilla necessary. Fuck that. Not asked about that. But the original King Kong and its remake in '76 and its remake again with Peter Jackson. Love it to bits. So, and that was a massively relevant movie, but it's nothing to do with the 80s, is it? It didn't come out in the 80s. So, that's that one scuppered as well. Lethal Weapon is too on the nose. Too literally on the nose. Oh, sorry, the other thing, he said, like, whenever you go in the room, this is what I was going to mention, King Kong, and the eyes especially, is that he said an earlier clue, and I wasn't sure if this is to do with the one he was originally going to send or the one that has arrived, but it definitely stuck in my mind again in the wee small hours. I was lying there awake thinking, what could it be? What could it be? What's in the box? Oh, go on, what's in the box? And he said, like, whenever you go in the room, this motherfucker will stare you down. So, I mean, that's kind of why I thought of King Kong, because on some of the posters, he's there glaring out, like, again, Lethal Weapon, the original Lethal Weapon poster, and you've seen that if you've watched, when I reviewed it. I think I had the big home video standee of the poster, 3D standee of Merto and Riggs, Danny Glover and Gibson. And Gibson's face on that, it's got a sort of very slight Mona Lisa-like smile, but he's got a very deadpan, serious look in his eyes, which wherever you go in the room, those eyes do follow you. And it's also the lull before the storm. There's a great sequence in Lethal Weapon where, after the jumper sequence, not the woolly jumper sequence, where he leaps off the building with the guy who's like, you're crazy, man. Yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm still a cop. You want to do it? You want to jump? I want to do it. I want to jump. And that sequence, and like, Merto drags him into some shop, and slams the door, and the door actually goes outside. Goes, oh great, you want to die? I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of it. And like, put it in your mouth. You'll be sure not to miss. Yeah, and all this kind of stuff. And Gibbo does pull the trigger, and it's Merto who gets that part of his hand, that little fleshy bit there in between the hammer, and stops the bullet from hitting him, and or stops the gun from firing, I should say. And in that moment, you've had Gibbo with that intense rage, and his eyes are like that. You shouldn't tempt me, man. And then there's a beautiful moment, which Gibbo is so good at doing, the cusp of madness and then reading it back in again. Totally on the edge. He did it in the balance. He's done it in everything. Mad Max, everything. He's done it in everything. And suddenly his eyes just calm down. He goes, I'm hungry. I'm going to get something to eat. And he storms off like... And it's that look that's on that poster. And that's why I find that poster and those eyes so incredibly captivating. So again, I was like thinking, well, it's got to be that. It's Lethal Weapon. It's Lethal Weapon. The other Christmas film, of course, what is it? What is it? Die Hard. Yes, Die Hard. No, I really, really don't reckon it's Die Hard. Die Hard's not massively significant to me. I love it to bits, but it wasn't like a life-changing experience watching it. It wasn't an event for me. It was an event, but it wasn't actually life-changing like Lethal Weapon was. I massively associated myself with Martin Riggs for a lot of reasons, which I have gone into in the past, and I won't dredge up now. But, so, I don't think it's Lethal Weapon. I don't think it's Die Hard. I'm absolutely positive it's not King Kong. It certainly isn't Predator, because we've covered Predator before. It isn't that. It is that. There's no Christmas element to Predator. So, and we've covered it before. I've got a fantastic canvas from Steve of Predator. We've done that. And it's not Escape from New York, as we said. So what could it be then? Significant to me, 80s classic. A 2-film choice. And he's heavily personalised it. So, like I say, he's put my name and my dad's name on there. He's done something similar. He actually said, I've changed some of the credits. He said it at the bottom of the poster. So like some of the wording at the bottom. He said on either side and underneath or something like that. So he's done something like that. Which again made me think that was significant. Me and my dad seeing that we saw it twice. We saw it twice in one night, the opening night. Great days. And what an experience that was. But he's personalised it to me and my dad. So I thought, well, what's it going to be then? And then I began to think of the 2-film thing. And you've got two choices really. You've got two films. Why only two films? Again, Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. But as I said, I'm dismissing them, and it could well be. It could well be. Lethal Weapon is fantastic, but I don't think it's that. I don't think so. But I do remember something which was significant, and I wouldn't, if I hadn't slept on this, Steve, I would not have come to this conclusion. I would have opened this last night, totally going down the road of Martin Riggs, and I'd have been, well, might have been correct. I don't know, but I'm thinking something else, and it is highly personal. It is significant. Two films are definitely involved, and it was Christmas time. So, and I'll tell you why I'm thinking this. When I was about, 11 years old, and pretty much the time of seeing this, to be honest, that Christmas, I come down and the Christmas tree was there. It's very timely, isn't it? Very timely. The Christmas tree was there, and there was a video cassette recording machine shape package underneath the tree. Ooh! This was the guy that I used to have this 3-in-1 entertainment system from Binatone, and it was like a 4.5-inch black and white TV with a cassette recorder and a radio. And I used to love it because it didn't have an internal microphone, it had an external one. So if you wanted to record, you could have the movie playing, but you had to record it separately. So what I would do, I remember things like Halloween being on TV, things like, what else? Got loads, I can't even put it on, like even King Kong, the 76 one, would be on, and I'd be using those, the 90-minute tapes and all that, like to turn them around and whatever, C180s or whatever. That's videotape, isn't it? But I mean, little audio cassettes. And I'd record just the sound only, but I made everyone shut up, shut up, I'm recording here. Like people would record on Top of the Pops in the old days, and you had to use the external mic, and you had to everyone be quiet, like while the songs were on. And so I used to have that, but I really wanted it. The video recorders were out, they've been out for a couple of years, but not everyone had one. In fact, very few people I knew had a video recorder. But I come down this Christmas morning, and being a die-hard movie fan. And it's funny how Michael Kamen scored Lethal Weapon and Die Hard as well. There we go. I really am beginning to think, like, I was going round the houses and it's going to be Lethal Weapon or Die Hard. So I wanted movie, a way to keep movies. I wanted to be able to play movies again and again and again. So my mum for Christmas, and I'm the fourth of 4 kids. I'm the youngest by far, and I was, a lot of them had left. Well, they'd all left by the time I was born. So I was brought up like a really cherished only child. So I was spoiled. The life I hoped I'd become accustomed to, but sadly I don't get spoiled that much. Only the likes of Steve 007 Smith and our good friend, Traveller in Time, Astrodyne, your friend of mine, Astrodyne, who sends a lot of stuff as well. You guys, you spoil me. And but my mum had got me a video recorder. I opened it up like that. What was it? It was a Sanyo VTC 5000 Betamax. Bang! Threw it down. Oh, it's Betamax! Christmas morning. And my day was soured completely. My hopes have been lifted. It's a video recorder. Wow! Oh, it's Betamax. Ah, shit! Big, sulky, ungrateful bastard I was. With big, mad hair. You think this hair's mad now? You should have seen me at that age. Oh my God. Ungrateful little brat. Of course, Betamax, as I learned very swiftly, Beta should be better, because it was infinitely better than VHS, although JVC swamped the market with VHS, so Betamax didn't stand a chance. The blank cassettes were longer, and they were better quality. Everything was smaller, so it was more compact. The picture quality was better, Beta better. The sound quality was Beta better as well. Everything about it was Beta better. And but my mum hadn't just stopped at buying me the video recorder, because I'd actually asked if this was going to happen. Here's a list of films, and I'd written a massive, extensive list of films which I knew were available on, I knew existed on videotape in the UK, and this was pre-certification days. So the BBFC, this was like, the Video Nasty thing hadn't even kicked in yet. All the films on the Video Nasty list were freely available at this time. And I got him. Of course, boy did I get him. And but I'd written out this huge long list. Now back in those days, you could not buy movies. You just couldn't. There was no sell-through, as they called it, later on the 80s and then in the 90s, sell-through. You couldn't go to shops, high street stores and buy a movie. They just didn't exist that way. You would have to go to a video library and ask them to buy you on their next order. Or what my mum and my sister-in-law did, they actually discovered, well, there's a wholesaler that sells videos. Why don't you go to them? And they were in Liverpool. So my mum and my sister-in-law, Lynn, her name is, went out to Liverpool and trolled around and quite some way out of the town centre to this place, this wholesalers, where the video libraries were getting their stock from. So it's a big distributor. And they went in with their list, and my list, and they bought 2 films for me. 2 actual bona fide movies. For real, you'd own a movie. Wow, no one else was doing that. They'd rent them. They wouldn't buy them. Who'd want to buy a movie? Who'd want to watch it again? Me, this guy lived and breathed movies, had to have movies 24/7 if it was possible. And of course, now it is possible and we all do it, but you don't buy stuff, you just stream it. No, I still buy stuff. I still like physical media. So, alongside this video recorder, Sanyo VTC 5000 top loader, black and white picture search, black and white freeze frame, and noise bars. But the picture was really good, apart from the fucking noise bars. But that was a great machine. I loved it. I then went on to get many other Betamax machines and many other VHS machines as well, because you didn't have a lot of choice in the matter, did you? Once Betamax had been stamped out and run out of town. So there were 2 movies in that, in another package, and when you consider that I was 11 years old and my mum had bought these were, they were X-rated movies, and both of them were very infamous as well. Neither are Video Nasties, but they were both very infamous. Now, I think that when Steve says Christmas, he means that Christmas time. 2 films to choose from. It's those 2 films that I got, because I have mentioned it before. He knows that, and I definitely have reviewed one of these movies and extensively. And but I think I have talked about the other one as well, but I don't think I've actually reviewed it. I don't think I have anyway. But my mind is leaning towards this particular one, and very significant again. So I'm thinking significant because it was the first movies I ever owned. He's personalised it. Well, as you can see there, he personalised that to me and my dad. So I'm thinking now, and Steve, Big Kilt Mama is going through not a great phase. She's now officially, folks, she's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Not a shock to the rest of the family, by the way. We kind of knew that. Who needs doctors, eh? Who needs doctors? We guessed it a long time ago. But anyway, it's one of them. It's like the end phase, isn't it, really? So anyway, it is what it is. So I know Steve does think about things like this. So boy, am I going to be wrong with this now. But and we're playing Lethal Weapon again. Well, let's get on to the movie that I think that is in there. Well, let's see if I've got the sound. I have got the soundtrack. I know I have. I must have the soundtrack to it. Hold on, folks. Hold on. What the bloody hell is it? Okay. Okay. This is an early Howard Shore score. Howard Shore also would score King Kong, Peter Jackson. Another connection there. And this is David Cronenberg's Scanners from 1981. The 2 films, folks, that my mum bought for me, I'll now show you. Oh, here's an original copy of Lethal Weapon. Oh, see what I mean about Gibbo's sort of serious expression there, and those eyes that just follow you all around. That's what I was thinking. You know, this motherfucker will stare you down. And there's a motherfucker in this that will stare you down as well. And then he'll blow your mind, literally. So the two films in question, of course, were The Exterminator, yeah, and Scanners. Scanners, we're hearing Scanners now. The Exterminator, Robert Ginty or Robert Ginty, I've heard it pronounced both ways, is the Vietnam veteran returning home. His best buddy, Steve James, the great muscle-bound Steve James, from many, many movies, gets savagely beaten by an urban New York gang and he saved Robert Ginty's life in a vicious Viet Cong POW camp at the start of the film The Exterminator. So then Robert Ginty turns vigilante and goes out for revenge and kills off the gang that are responsible for his beating and then his eventual death, and then takes out other gangsters and criminals and mob bosses around New York. And it's an absolute classic. That is not Robert Ginty on the cover there, but the classic tagline, "If you're lying, I'll be back." It's fantastic. And he does use a flamethrower. He does wear a motorcycle helmet at one point, but that is not him. That's him on the back in a shot, a publicity shot, which you never see in the movie. Robert Ginty. So that's a Betamax copy. That's the original Betamax copy. Do you know how much these cost? These were about £77 when my mum bought them. Each. So she bought several £100 worth at the time of Betamax video recorder, which I was ungrateful brat. Went like, oh, Betamax there. Bah, humbug. And she bought Scanners as well. And this is the original British Guild Home video release of Scanners. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Boom, look at that, boom on the back of it there. And if you want to see on the inside, it is still the lovely original Betamax tape of it. Important, please rewind tape. Remember those days? And it's beautiful. You know, you can't play them. I've got nothing to play them on. And why would I? I've got it on Blu-ray. But yeah, nice to have these big old boxes. I mean, I know that The Exterminator, look at that, Beta. That was obviously the old Intervision cardboard box, which to put them on the shelves, what video library proprietors would do, would just break down the box and obviously just put it into the big video thing. Now that's how we got that. So these came from a big distributor outside in Merseyside. There you go, and it cost a fucking lot of money. So, speaking of money, my money is on that being Scanners. So, let's have a little swig of this. I could be wrong. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy the whole preamble and the build up to this, because I've talked about a couple of movies there. I've talked about Lethal Weapon, I've talked about Die Hard, I've talked about a lot of King Kong, and then whatever that is, I'll talk about that as well. Cheers, y'all, and cheers, Steve. Fabulously bizarre music that Howard Shore came up with for this. And Howard Shore would go on to do Lord of the Rings, of course. Rich, orchestral, full of colour, full of, dense characterisation, fantastic melodies and motifs, epic, sombre, dark, brooding, exciting battle music, haunting, mysterioso music. And, when it came from this stable, avant-garde body horror from Canada, David Cronenberg's my favourite movies are his main trio, which would be The Brood, which I've covered, Scanners, which I've covered, and Videodrome, which I've yet to cover. There's no way on earth that's Videodrome. Can't be that. I haven't covered it. It's the whole bloody point, isn't it? Right, anyway, folks. The trusty ski and do, which I find I now need. These boxes now, they're sealed far more efficiently than I used to get this and I just try and, I've got to cut through this, but you just flip it up and open the flap and you've been into it, and now they're kind of sealed a lot more. Anyway, for those who are thinking that I've broke into this, I've not broken at all. There's something rattling around in there, but I've told you before what they do with these I'm looking at the canvas over there. Because it's canvas, it's stretched over a wooden frame. They can sometimes begin to sag or drop on one side, but they send you little wooden wedges which you push into the corners of the wooden frame, and you can tighten the canvas by pushing those in. So that's what's rattling around in there, I presume. They don't always have them, but some do. Right, okay. Now, as usual, right? This could be upside down. It won't be back to front. Right? Okay, right, now, as usual, there it is. It's sealed in. It's got a cardboard back, and so you can't see what it is. It's all sealed in there. Right, and you can never tell from the writing on the backs of these things, you know, because just like a stamp mark sort of thing. So if this comes up upside down, I do apologise, but you can't tell. So, slitting the cellophane. Oh, I know what we should do. I know what we should do. Daryl Revick, Michael Ironside in the air, the scanner's demonstration, where he literally blows the guy's head apart. And if those of you who haven't seen my review of Scanners, I reenact that scene with my own special effects. Yeah, I'll put the link below. It's worth having a look. But let's get on this.
Now, I'd like you to think of something specific. Something that will not breach the security of your organization.
So you've got this guy who's a scanner, but he's a good scanner. And he's just going to use his techniques, not knowing that the guy's about to scan is a really big evil scanner who wants to take over the world. Daryl Revick.
Yes, yes.
The great voice of Michael Ironside. And of course, the poor guy who's the doctor, the one who's doing, the scientist who's doing the demonstration, his hands begin to drum because he's like, and he's looking at this other guy and he's like, I can't breathe. And it builds up and up and up to boomski. So that's the poster, right? That's what I'm putting my money on is in here. Well, there could be a variation on it, obviously, but okay, the big boom's going to happen, so we'll try and bring this out in time with it. And I won't look, you'll see it first. It's upside down, oh god damn it. Wow, isn't that great? Look at that. That's beautiful, that. Oh, I'm sorry, I've just seen what Steve was saying about he did stuff at the bottom and on either side. He's done Guild Home Video there, Betamax. Can you see the Guild Home Video? Betamax is there, and he's written A Christmas Gift at the Dawn of a New Age, Christmas 1981, 40th anniversary, 2021. That's wonderful. Oh, sorry, mate. You need to look at that. See, there's a bit of you can see that bit of a dinge there in the canvas. But again, by tightening that, you can get rid of that. So it's but look at the colours on that. That looks amazing. That's from the final scanner duel with him and his brother, Stephen Lack, who's Cameron Vale, who's been taken in by Patrick McGowan as Dr. Ruth. He's a good scanner, but he's got to track down and fight the bad scanner, which is Michael Ironside. And these two have this climactic scanning duel. And poor old Stephen Lack, Cameron Vale, comes off the worst, because he's so powerful, and he's tearing his flesh apart. His heart burns out, his veins all explode, blood's going everywhere, his eyes explode out of his head. And really all you see happening to him is in slow motion, he's going, and his eyes roll over into ping pong balls. They're just white, and he goes, And the other guy, the good guy's burst into flames. He's now a human inferno, just ablaze, and all you see of him is just in the background with his eyes rolled over white, as Quint would say. And then it ends, and then you've got, what's her name? Jennifer O'Neill, she's a scanner as well, but she's a good girl, and she's working with Cameron Vale to bring him down. But she's been asleep in the other room, and she wakes up, she comes in, and she sees one horrible charred body on the deck. Let's get on to that music, by the way. Is it there? Where would it be? Where is it? Oh, there you go. This is the scanner duel and the end titles. Now, she sees this charred, blackened body on the deck. And another callback to the Exterminator. There's a scene where the Exterminator takes out a guy that's using young boys and young girls in a chicken ranch, they call it. So these bastards can go in there and abuse them. And they take soldering irons and he burn them as well. And he puts magnesium into his bullets of a Magnum 44, and he kills a few people in there. But the guy himself, who's the proprietor, he knees him in the face, boots him around a bit, and then covers him in flammable liquid and then sets him on fire. And you hear these horrible screams. He deserves it. He deserves it. These horrible screams. And then you see the blackened body afterwards, the chart in the fetal position and all that. Well, she walks in, Jennifer O'Neill, and she sees this body, and she's like, in the room in the corner, you've got Michael Ironside with a coat over him, and he turns around like that, and he said, it's me, don't worry, it's me, it's Cameron, because somehow or other, and she's like, but it looks like the bad guy, but all along, he's had a hole between his eyes where earlier in his life, we get told that he's put a drill through his own head to try and release the sounds of, because scanners are super telepaths, they can understand and hear everyone else's thoughts. They can use their scanning techniques to focus and destroy things, move things, telekinesis, mind-blowing powers. And but before they realise how they can harness it, they're just going mad. They need a certain drug to suppress all that, ephemeral. But ephemeral also created them in the first place. Anyway, there's a lot more to it than this. But he put a drill between his eyes to release the sounds. So you have this scar, this sort of third eye scar there. But when she sees this, she's like, that scar's gone. And it's Cameron's voice saying, it's me, it's Cameron, we've won. But these swapped bodies, he's used his powers to get out of the burning body into this guy. And it's just, I think it's fabulous movie. And look at that. Scanners, their thoughts can kill. That looks really, really good, really powerful, that. Look at that. And yeah, wherever you go in the room, this motherfucker will stare you down. I think we've got that, yeah. I think we've got that. This is all the veins are springing out now, and like blood's bursting out. Fabulous effects. Kind of looks tame these days when you've seen a lot more gore would come after this. And in the Scanners series, there'd be a lot more heads exploding and bodies erupting. They just go to town on it, obviously. A Christmas gift at the dawn of a new age, yeah, because home video was there. Is there a hint of the dawn of a new age of scanners, the new breed of scanners? And of course, Videodrome, long live the new flesh. There's the change. Is that you're playing on Cronenbergian themes there? Christmas 1981. That's fantastic, mate. I don't know where that's going to go. It's a lot of these canvases. They're like nomads. They move around. They go from room to room to room. This is going to follow me around, certainly for a while now. It's going to go wherever I am. It's going to be sitting there, and that's the beauty of these things. Look how they are. It's just very flimsy. Not flimsy. It's just plywood. That's all it is. So they don't weigh much. So a couple of tacks go in the wall. Boom, sits there, proud, fantastic. When you want to change it, a new one comes in, and you want to move them down the line, like I've done in the hallways down here and upstairs, and like you just move them along a bit, and it changes the decor and the mood and the theme of the room you're in by having things like this. It's versatile, colourful, and enthralling all at the same time. Look at that. Scanners. Their thoughts can kill. And what a great movie as well. 5-minute score, very unusual, very unsettling score, as all of Howard Shore's early work for David Cronenberg always was. And Cronenberg's fantastic high concept ideas, body horror, erupting across the screen, but such clever ideas. What's happened to Cronenberg these days? Cronenberg moved into doing sort of, instead of the body erupting, it would be the mind erupting, and you'd have like Eastern Promises and History of Violence. Then you had Spider. Those of you thinking, don't show us that spider bite again, Kilt-Man. Don't worry, I won't. Because folks, if you're just coming fresh to this guy here has been bitten by a spider, and it's a really nasty spider bite as well. Oh, how lucky I am not. He did a film Spider, he did Madame Butterfly, but what's he doing now? What's Cronenberg doing now? Because you think perhaps with coronavirus, taking over the world and mutating, that's ample ground for Cronenberg to, that's his playground. Come on, do something about that. But then again, does he need to? He's covered this sort of thing before. His movie Rabid pretty much foretold, the transmission of a brand new plague around the world and the draconian measures put in place. I mean, what's the mayor of Toronto say? Or is he the president of Canada? Do you have a Canadian president? Or is it the king of Canada? I don't know. Shooting down the victims is as good a way of dealing with them as we have got. And Rabid happens at Christmas time. And you see Santa getting machine gunned. You do. In a kind of overzealous crowd control sequence. This is the main theme of Scanners. So yeah, Cronenberg, we need you. Come back. Me and Steve 007 Smith implore you to come back. Look at that. And Michael Ironside's voice. He's going, oh, in that moment. He's trying to convince Cameron, his brother, to join him. Tell me you're not like, the rest of Ruth's babies. Tell me you're not weak like them. You're like me. I was like, no, I'm not like you. And he's been playing with like a clay paperweight in his hand, like that. And this guy's on his knees. Cameron, come on, join me. We should be brothers. We should work together. And he just goes, no! Bang! He smacks him in the head. And like Michael Ironside wonderfully goes like, okay, we'll do it the other way. We'll do it the Scanner way. I'm going to suck your brain dry. Brothers should be close, don't you think? And of course, that's what happens. The brothers literally inhabit each other's bodies. They move across. This guy gets burnt to a frazzle, flambéed, and Cameron Vale goes into his body. Everything's hunky-dory at the end. Well, until Scanners 2 and 3. And then Scanner Cop and that series come out. But it's a good concept. You can't let it just drop, can you? And look at that. That's a wonderfully vivid picture. I know I'm really big in this one, I know, but it is fucking awesome. I love the green. I love this. It's horrifying, but it's so incredibly stylish as well, and impactful. And I love the burns. His sleeves are beginning to singe away. And you get the impression of him shaking. You can see the hands. Look at that. Really good artwork, that. And the little personalisation is fantastic, mate. Fantastic. And Steve, I got you again. But I'll be honest, if I'd come home last night, then I'd have been sitting there going off. I'd have Lethal Weapon playing all the way through, and then go, oh God, I should be playing Scanners. I got it wrong, damn it. But great clues though, great clues. And you really are sending me down memory lane and thought trajectories to try and work out, like Sherlock Holmes or Poirot, putting all the clues together. And like, that's plausible, but that doesn't seem right. And then you have to go away and come back, and you get the thoughts which really, hang on. And like, because you said significance, Christmas. Two title. What was it? Two titles to choose from, I think was what you wrote. So again, Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, that's what I was thinking. But the way you work it out, I love it. It gets whatever lurks inside here, you seem to stimulate that and get it going. Synapses start popping left, right, and centre. A bit like what happens to these guys when they set their mind to it. Well, there you go, folks. Scanners from 1981. Literally a mind-blowing movie and a mind-blowing poster image. And what a fantastic, fantastic canvas that is. Steve, thank you so much, mate. And I do appreciate that. That's Betamax as well. Steve isn't psychic, folks. He doesn't know. I have said all this in the past. I have covered this movie in the past and talked about it, and that infamous Christmas morning. Although I was grumpy Christmas Day, I was very happy on Boxing Day. I was. I realised the beauties of watching Scanners and the Exterminator. Wow. That is fabulous. And I do think that's the first Cronenberg canvas that you've sent me. I think it is. Yeah, it is. I don't think we've had any others. But that is wonderful. And Scanners, I say Rabbit, Scanners and Videodrome are my favourites of Cronenberg. I love The Fly as well. And I love Eastern Promises and, History of Violence. And Existence and all that. Existence. Actually, I'm not that much bigger fan of it. And the earlier stuff, Rabid, Shivers. I love Cronenberg, but I love early Cronenberg. As I say, he needs to come back out from the woodwork. There's plenty going on in the world that he can use and abuse. His observations are always spot on and incredibly affecting. So, there you go, folks. From me and Michael Ironside and our good friend Steve 7 Smith. Keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, be happy. And, try and control your thoughts. Focus. And don't put a drill between your eyes. Not a good idea. So, no drill, just a bottle of whiskey. Cheers, y'all. Cheers, Steve. So please be happy, be healthy, and be festive, y'all, because it is Christmas time. Mistletoe and wine. So I'm going to see you all. Namaste, unless you're a spider, in which case, I'm going to see you all.